always think of the classroom as being a fractal of the world. What happens in our schools and our classrooms is really just a piece and a copy, a mirror of what's going on in the world. So we have all kinds of power dynamics, we have all kinds of cultural differences, gender issues. It's all right there in our classrooms. There are so many differences in the world between people and among people. And so if we have different entities, different either cultural groups or individuals, rather than try to focus on the people as different, if we create an ethical space, we're really focused on the space between, that place of relationship. If as the teacher or the facilitator of this space, we begin to build and focus on the relationship, the space between, we start to act in very, very different ways, right? We focus not so much on, describing the difference, but talking about how is it that we can be in relationship, but still be different, right? It's a kind of dignity of difference, right? It creates an environment where we can be different and still have a kind of relationship. So we're going to then focus on how do we talk about things that are that we disagree on? How are we going to choose to move forward? How are we going to have relationships? How will we work together? How do we work apart? All those kinds of questions become very different when you're working with the idea of ethical space or relational space.
Sometimes we talk about global citizenship as an ethical construction and ethical practice, in the sense that although we may not be able to do everything we like in terms of improving the lives of people, or actually I should say helping people improve their lives, what we can do is to engage ethically with the rest of the world, but also in the classroom specifically. Ethical space becomes extremely important because every human relationship, including the relationship between the teacher and the learner, has ethical implications. The way that space is dealt with, the way it's constructed, the way it's managed, in quotations, whether it's managed or done constructively, or whether it becomes an issue, may actually so much determine the relationship between the learner and the teacher. And the extent to what that relationship is positive and collaborative, the more the educational intentions will be achieved. And even beyond that, after these young learners leave the classroom and they become active, productive working citizens here in Canada or elsewhere, the way they understand the ethical space that they have with every other person or every other community will more or less, at least partially determine the way they constructively achieve their intentions and achieve what they are trying to do with other people.